Okay, it says we're live, and I'm just going to let this finish populating here.
Got it.
Okay, here we go. All right, welcome everybody. I am Annette Friesman. Mandy was having difficulties with Zoom this morning. That seems to be the story of our life lately. So I'm going to do this for her. And with me, I have Jordan, right?
Yes, Jordan Atterbury.
From Connect to Careers. And he's going to tell us what that is and what his role is and all that kind of stuff. In connection, hopefully we can connect it with some opportunities that are available for teenagers and others too. But so he's got his PowerPoint up there. So I'll just let you take that, Jordan. And if you don't mind, if I see any questions on the live, are you okay? Well, I can just ask them then.
Yeah, just shoot them to me as you get them.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Hi, friends. So Connect to Careers is the grant that is held by Children and Families of Iowa. We are located downtown, just on University Avenue. Headquarters is on the north side of the road, and we are above primary healthcare on the south side of the road. Up some stairs, and you'll find us in Suite 206. So my name is Jordan Atterbury. I am a career planner, which we'll get to in a minute, but I career plan for youth 14 to 24-year-olds. We are federally funded. It's a federally funded program, so we have some money that we can play around with, and we support the youth in that manner. It's called the WIOA, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So like I said, I knew this slide was coming, but I jumped the gun like I always do.
It's all right.
We work with young people, 14 to 24, with multiple barriers to success. Everybody is considered low income, but there are many factors that make an individual low income, so we don't have to count anything to do with their family income, or there's other barriers such as dropouts, mental diagnosis, physical disabilities. There's just a long list, but just some barriers to employment that we want to help these people work on vocational, educational, and independent living goals, as well as basic skills goals. So I don't know how many counties I might be talking to right now, but we do serve Polk and the surrounding counties. So every county that borders Polk, we do serve. So you can see on the map here, we go as far as Boone, Story, Dallas, Jasper, Madison, Warren, Marion. The one pictured, obviously Marshall, we don't cover that one. So we are considered the Central Iowa Local Workforce Development Area.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Is there other ones for the rest of the state?
Yes, there sure are.
Okay.
Yeah, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act is a nationwide program, hence the Department of Labor. And so there is a small portion where CFI actually owns a little bit in the Fort Dodge area. There are other ones around the state. I know Goodwill Industries has a couple as well.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't reside in any of these counties right here, feel free. You can reach out to me, and I know who's in charge of that area, and I'll get you connected.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
We're all on the same team here. So yeah, so you just every discussion that we have when an individual comes to see us is you're applying for this program, just like you're applying for a job. You have to have the proper documentation as you were to have a job, birth certificate, state ID, and the social security card. There's other determining criteria, but this is just a one-to-one discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? On a daily basis, I am meeting with my caseload, which is fortunately pretty small, 20 individuals that I work with at least once a month on the curriculum. we do cohorted group workshops. We actually have one coming up June 13th, but unfortunately that one, the deadline just passed. But we'll have one coming up in the fall for out of school. Obviously it doesn't work for in school because those are usually 9 to 4, so they're like an all day event. But what we do in the workshops is what we do with the individuals. So you don't miss anything by missing a workshop, because you'll get one sometime. But we really focus on soft skills. So anything that can help that individual break down those barriers to employment and education. Yeah, educational and employment. So we talk about things like professionalism. We talk about teamwork, communication, and we really have fun doing it. So,
and those are the soft skills you're talking about.
Those are the soft skills. Yeah. Absolutely. So we really have fun doing it with individuals. We build a rapport. And so we set the foundation of success in our program. So then when they're ready to go out in the world of work, I like to call it, they are prepared, confident, and have the keys to succeed. And we definitely stay with them even when they're in the job or their educational. You never age out of our program. 14 to 24, if you get in before you're 24, until you reach your goals, you could be, hopefully not, but you could be 30 and exit our program.
So you're there to help for however long they need it.
We're always there. And then after you exit, they want us to do follow-up. The Department of Labor says, hey, you know what? We just want to make sure that everybody's successful for a year afterwards. So okay, awesome. I do contact individuals for a year afterwards.
Okay.
Sorry. So there's long and short-term goal setting. Every individual is different based on what their needs and their wants are. One of the best starting points is exploring careers in this field, like exploring careers in nursing, and that's just a goal. And so when we get more specific, we can kind of tailor make it too. We can always change the goals and update them. Mm-hmm. So you're never locked into like something you don't want to do anymore. One of my students is striving to be a pilot. So that's pretty cool. I've never had one of those before, but I'm anxious to see, and I've done a lot more research than I ever thought I would on aviation.
And, people's goals change as they age too, right? So, our goals change. So, you might need to tweak it down the road. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Especially when you're coming into our program as a 14-year-old.
Right.
Heck, I wanted to be the president of the United States when I was 14. And then I found out what they actually did. And I said, no. I want to help people decide that they don't want to be the United States president. But, so we're under the WIOA Title I branch. We work with all the titles. There's 4 titles. So we do a lot of partnerships with Iowa Works. I don't know if any of you have been to Iowa Works in the 200 East Army Post, but it's a huge center. So it's the American Job Center, actually. We work with DMAC and Voc Rehab. Those are our other core partners. Okay. But we're always looking for more partners to work with outside of the core, and connect students to, maybe if they need re-engagement services. Youth Build has been great with that. Also Starts Right Here. Those are just 2 of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. So
if someone's listening here and they think they might be a good partner, reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, tons of nonprofits. I mean, there's nothing in our, I've never had a partner that I had to say no, that there's we're doing the same thing, the money's coming from the same spot. I've never said no to any partner. So nonprofits alike, please reach out to me to see how we can partner on those possibilities. If anybody has the same barriers that we work with, heck, we can work with them as well. It's just a co-enrollment, and we're not fighting for any competitive edge or anything. It's just that's just who we are, and that's who we serve.
Right.
I already mentioned follow-up, and I already kind of talked about that. But we are in high demand, obviously. The government wants us to focus on that. But like I said, you come to me and we're all about tailoring this experience. What's on here? So one-on-one and in our workshops, we do resumes, interview prep, work readiness, skill building, stuff like that. We do a lot of personality tests, as well as I teach the A game, which is pretty fun and interactive. 7 A's for a company who wants to fight to keep you and fight to hire you. So that's pretty good information.
Mhm.
The next thing on here is called a paid work experience, which is pretty awesome, actually, when I think about it. So a paid work experience is for somebody who we can help get their foot in the door with a business partner of ours in their area. And we actually take on the responsibility for that individual, and we pay them with our money for a set amount of time. And we actually just bumped that up. So now we're able to pay the individuals $13 an hour for a work experience, which is really cool, because some of the times we talk to the business partners and there's like, oh yeah, we'll take on a volunteer, and that volunteer can get paid from us, and then it can turn into a long-term employment. That's the goal of it. It's not guaranteed,
Mhm.
but we try to make that work as much as possible. On the job training is very, very similar, but we are able to pay half the wages, and the employer pays half the wages if $13 is too low for that job, right? We
Mhm.
also do internships, job shadows, apprenticeships. That's where the short-term training is really at right now. We've seen that from Iowa Works and the DMAC partners with their short-term training and the Workforce Training Academy. So that's where that's where the excitement is right now in Iowa, and that's kind of what we strive to focus on and educate our participants about, that these opportunities are there and everybody in our program can take part of them.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said in the beginning, high school dropouts definitely automatically qualify as low income for our program. We definitely try to re-engage them, work on the basic skills needed, math and reading. Something really cool, and as long as you fill out the FAFSA for college, we can supplement like some aid to that. I definitely pay for some books for one of my students that's going to college right now.
And those can add up, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, and nobody wants that burden. I mean, especially as we're talking about alleviating student loan debt right now, we're trying to prevent it in this program. So, yeah, we're trying to get these participants into to successful pathways, and we're trying to we don't want to add barriers if they already have barriers, right? So during the work experience program or on the job training, internship, apprenticeship, we can reimburse for transportation, childcare, small car repairs. There's other supportive services. So, I help people with some things that I never thought would be a barrier, but that's why we identify in the beginning. We sit down and we have a long list of trying to identify those barriers. So yeah, community partners, they have the power to refer people to the program, ask more questions, follow up. I like to come out in the community, talk to anybody, anytime. If I can't make it, somebody else in the office can. Our team is growing. I came on board almost 2 years ago, and I was only a team of 3, and now I think I'm a team of 9.
Awesome.
So yeah, we've seen the participation ramp up a little bit. I never like to say post-COVID, but post the pandemic lockdown, I should say. There we go. We've seen the numbers ramp up, so the interest is there, and we are definitely there to help. like I said, informal, no appointment needed. I'm pretty sure that we have, there's probably a brochure, a link to our website that we'll post later.
Yeah, we can post that in the comment section after this video too.
Cool.
I mean, you can post
Excellent.
that in there so people can get to it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So I'd like to meet each and every one. The program manager, my supervisor is Paul Lemunion, and there's his contact information right there.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's all for the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Are there any additional questions I can answer? Maybe a page left unturned?
No, but I have a question for you. What do you think is the biggest impact from the pandemic on your program?
Well, the biggest impact was definitely participation rates. Nobody wasn't sure if people wanted to go out into the community, number one, to come to our center. Nobody knew what organizations were working from home and which ones were not. Unfortunately, I feel like our organization as a team spent a lot less time out of the office than some others. So yeah, it was just people were just so unsure of what was going on, but there's been some clarity here, I feel like.
Right. And like you said, it's picking up now, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a pandemic silver lining that you can think of?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Not yet, but I
kind of, sorry, I put you on the spot there.
Yeah, there's only time will tell. I don't think we're there yet, but I think there might be.
I think what we're doing now, the Zoom, right? I mean, who used Zoom before the pandemic? You know, now I'm in a different part of the state than you are, but yet we can have this conversation. We can get it out there in social media and help people that way too. So that is awesome.
And I guess not for my program specifically, but in demand jobs, more that are able to work from home, can work from home.
Right.
You're seeing that a lot more. And if that cuts down on traveling to the office every day, traveling, maybe people travel like an hour a day. Maybe that's a silver lining.
And it can take away some of those barriers, right? If you can work from home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because transportation is a huge barrier.
Right. Childcare.
Childcare is a huge barrier. So yeah, you're right.
There we are. Anything else you want to mention? And like I said, we'll put that contact information so people know how to reach out to you if they're interested in your program or partnering with you in any way. So we can put that in the comment section.
Yep, absolutely. Nope, that sounds good. I think I covered all the bases.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for explaining what you do and what Connected Careers is. And if anyone has any questions, I don't see any comments right now in the live, but if you do, put them in the comments and we can get the answers to you later on too as well. So thank you very much, Jordan. You have a good day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.